Ahoy there, Captain Benzie here, coming at you with another video for Armajet. Now this time around I wanted to talk about all the stuff that happened on VELOCITAS Day this Friday just gone. Before we jump right in, if you do enjoy any of my content, please let me know by hitting like on that video and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. If you are interested in Armajet, or if you're just getting started in the game, do have a look around this channel, as there is a whole ton of Armajet content already here. Whether that's things like the Loadout Lowdown weapon series, where I talk about the different weapons in the game, showcase how to use them, how to counter them, and just give some basic tips and tricks there, or whether it's just getting started gameplay guides, that's all right here on this channel for your viewing enjoyment. Let me know what content you'd like to see in the future, either by commenting down in the comment section below, or by coming and finding me on the various different social media channels you can see along the bottom of your screen now. All that said and done, let's have a look at VELOCITAS Day. So this Friday just gone was Valentine's Day, and on Valentine's Day, the Armajet social media channels all seemed to turn into the Marigold Corporation. Now, if you've playing Armajet already and you've had a look through the badges, the Marigold Corporation may already be ringing bells. There are several badges already in the game that reference the Marigold Corporation, their different generation of logos, and if you look at some of the weapons, like for example the Typhoon, you'll see that it has Marigold Corporation branding already on it. That insinuates that the Marigold Corporation is a weapons manufacturer in the Armajet universe, and for some reason all of their social medias changed to Marigold Corporation as the name and with the logo as the icons. Then this video dropped. Now I'm just going to let the video play out the first time. I'm then going to do a stop and react to each little bit, because there's a lot to unpack in this minute-long video, and I just really want to sit down with you guys on this one.
Experience the joy of luxury killing with the new VELOCITAS Railgun series by Marigold. Vaporize your enemies in a flash with gentle recoil and minimal recharge in a smooth hypercraftium finish. Marigold, luxury killing redefined.
So that's the video in its entirety. Let's take this blow by blow now. So you can see that the video starts off with a nice Valentine's Day card. It's got Rogue, Ramirez, and a VELOCITAS on it, lots of love hearts, Bitbot in the background. It then cuts through to a Marigold Corporation VELOCITAS Day demo, and this little bit of text here. Now this is interesting. Model 77 is the VELOCITAS railgun. If you actually have a look at the model in the game, zoom in and have a spin around on there, you'll see that it is a Model 77 VELOCITAS railgun. GMM Instagib, however, is the bit that I actually want to pause and talk about here. Now, if you've played games like Quake Arena or Unreal Tournament, you will already know what Instagib means. For those of you who don't know, Instagib is a shorthand way of saying one shot, one kill. If you get hit in Instagib mode, you immediately are instantly gibleted, turned into meaty giblets that bounce around the arena. Ultimately, this was used in Quake 3 as a way of modifying matches, often on with railguns on maps like Longest Yard. Certainly, Longest Yard death matches with railguns were one of my favourite Instagibs. But in Unreal Tournament 2004, Instagib matches would appear during the campaign as well. There'd be like death matches with your team versus an enemy team, one shot, one kill all the way through. They were also used as mutators, which were special ways of modifying your custom matches. If you were playing online and setting up a lobby, you could purposefully set it up as an Instagib arena, meaning that anything that you were hit with would be a one shot, one kill. And that, to me, the use of the term Instagib, I mean, for crying out loud, we know we've got Nicola Goretti is part of the Super Bit Machine team. He is a professional Unreal Tournament player. I don't think the use of the Instagib word here is accidental. This to me insinuates that we may be getting an Instagib mode, or possibly even mutators. Purely speculation, I might add, just going off this video, but I don't think the use of the word Instagib here is entirely without purpose. Now, as we go through here, you can see this is the Pylon, I believe it is, modification for the VELOCITAS. And this now becomes the key points for me. This is a weapon demo, and you'll see that ultimately every single one of these, and that was an important one back there, I'm going to pause on the next one, there it is. Did you see that? That was someone who was shielded. I'm going to scroll back that little bit there. That was a shielded pilot taken out in one hit by the VELOCITAS. Now, the VELOCITAS normally only does, I think, 90 damage, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but it normally only does 90 damage. Someone on full health and shielded has 150 HP. That would mean a VELOCITAS with double damage, yes, would be able to one-shot them, but have a look at the pilot here. This Anna is not using the double damage power-up. That means this VELOCITAS has done over 150 damage, at least 150 damage, to this opponent. Now, the fact that they are both wielding the VELOCITAS, to me, I'll come back to that. Because one of the things I've spoken to a lot of people on their thoughts on this, and one of the things that was suggested was, okay, what if this is weapon mods? What if it's something like a skin that you can put onto the VELOCITAS that means that you deal a lot more damage with it, and possibly extra weight or extra reload time or something like that. Now, what we're looking at here is both pilots being armed with it. To me, this insinuates more that it's either a game mode or a specific mutator. I don't think it's accidental that every player in this video is using the VELOCITAS, as you'll see as we go on. So let's continue hitting play on that one here. Now, while this is all going on, you can hear what I'm assuming is a Marigold representative, and I'm going to pause this here. What I assume is a Marigold representative talking about the VELOCITAS. Now, that's the first real bit of Armajet lore we've gotten, besides the little quotes that are in some of the skins, especially the common level skins. Read through the common level skins descriptions, and you'll see that there's a load of stuff going on in regards to the lore. Now, on top of this, I've paused here. Now, this is fairly obviously a new map. This looks amazing. It's like a cyberpunk neon city. I love the dark blues, the purples and the pinks. That colour scheme alone just makes me think of 1980s cyberpunk, William Gibson's Neuromancer, Neil Stephenson's Snow Crash, that kind of thing. If you haven't read those books, you really should. They are amazing works of fiction. If you're on Netflix, go and watch Altered Carbon, which is another book by Richard Morgan, very cyberpunky. Blade Runner, this kind of stuff, very big in the 80s, and this just speaks to me. That neon glow of a city, and with this holographic, I think that's a woman, holographic woman on the side there, while this voice is telling you about the VELOCITAS. And you can see there's a Marigold logo going around the top of this building there, as well as a hologram. So obviously the Marigold Corporation is heavily invested at this point, and this appears to be a new city map. From what we can see, there is a lot of open vertical space. Like on Temple, there doesn't appear to be anything above the pilot at this point in time, giving us a really open map. I mean, there you can see the bounce. That is, I'm going to scroll back a little bit further into this one, see if there's any more of this map we can see. There's a little bit of it's crossing over from Moon. We had Moon in the previous shot. Let's see if I can pause that. Oh, no, come on, go back just that little bit. There we are. So you can see on this new map, this new city map, that there are light bridges like in Moon. I think that those are going to operate like in Moon, that ultimately you can shoot through them, you can drop stuff through them. And as I said, this looks much more vertical than any map we've seen. Like, for example, Canyon is a very horizontal map. There's a lot of distance between left and right. This appears to be a much more vertical map with a lot more going on. I mean, you can see there's several different platforms on the way up. You can see that hologram moving in the background. There's one-shot insta-skip there. This, to me, is all super exciting. This looks like we are either getting modifications to weapons, which I don't think is likely, and in honesty, I would kind of be a little bit disappointed at, because if skins suddenly have bonuses to weapons, then whoever has the better skins has an advantage, which is introducing pay-to-win mechanics into a game that ultimately has managed to avoid all of that. So I don't think it's going down that route. Knowing the fact that we've got Goretti on the team and Unreal Tournament being referenced, this to me insinuates that one of two things is happening. I think it's pretty obvious at this point we're getting a new map. I think it's pretty obvious that there is a new map coming. It's hard to deny and just go, oh no, that's Moon, but they've recolored it. We've seen Moon in the shots here. We are either getting a new map and then a new game mode, something like just an insta-gib mode that doesn't matter what weapons you've got equipped, everyone has a VELOCITAS and everyone is shooting each other, or we're getting things like mutators. Now, to me, the game mode does seem the more likely of those two, simply because having a new game mode is something that the developers have talked about. We had Fuel Frenzy added, and of course, recently Battle Ball, so having a new game mode come in the next update would be awesome, and I'm all for that, especially one as awesome as Instagib Railguns. That appears to be what's going on here. That said, I can quietly hope for mutators. Now, for those of you who haven't played games like Unreal Tournament or like Quake, mutators ultimately are ways to change the game. Now, Instagib is one of the most common of these, but there are other ones as well that have things like instantly regenerating health, or every weapon fires 3 times as quickly, or everyone is always equipped with double damage, that kind of thing. All these different kind of just ways of modifying the game and doing some really cool things there. So to me, that's what I'd hope for, but I'm not holding out for it. I think it is more likely that there is a new map and a new game mode coming in this next patch. And if anything's to go by looking at how the patches have rolled out previously, I would suggest that this new patch, as exciting as this already looks, will be launching within the next couple of weeks. Certainly by, I'd say, no later than the end of the first week of March. To me, already a new game mode and a new map would be huge. We don't know anything else that's coming in this patch. I have had a little bit of a trawl through here to see if there are any skins that I don't recognise, anything like that. I am just going to do that again now live on camera and see if anything pops out to me. Lots of Anna skins here. There's Ramirez, Kruger there, Umako on the side there getting blown away, more Anna. No, but I mean, who knows? Who knows? And this all looks like a weapon demo as well, and I love the way that this was presented. All of that stuff did get eventually taken back, so the Armajet server doesn't anymore have all the Marigold logos, but to me that was just a really, really interesting way of leaking stuff, having this like Valentine's Day card suddenly cut away to this, this weapon demo. That to me is awesome, but that's just my thoughts and my opinions. What do you think? What do you think this could all mean for Armajet going forward? What kind of stuff would you like to see if mutators were to be added? What kind of mutators would you like to see added to the game? What do you reckon of the new map from what we've seen of it? What would you like to think about what this map means going forward? What would you like to see as what it means for design? What about if this is a new game mode, Instagib? Will you be playing it? Let me know your thoughts and your comments in the comment section down below, or on social media, or come, of course, join us on the Armajet Discord. Anyway, that's my thoughts and my opinions. I do hope you've enjoyed listening to all of this, folks. Happy sailing, and see you in the arena.